What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we've got some absolutely wild courtroom footage coming your way. That includes an intoxicated Karen causing chaos in a Texas court, along with a seriously dangerous defendant out of Michigan who attempts to paint himself as the victim, only to run into a judge who sees right through the act. But before we dive into all of that, we need to take a moment for a very important message from today's sponsor, Aura. Every single time I've mentioned Aura, another massive data breach seems to happen, and this latest one may be the worst yet. More than 2.9 billion records were stolen from National Public Data, a company that provides personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing firms, and others who run background checks. The compromised data includes full names, birth dates, home addresses, social security numbers, and phone numbers. Even worse, members of the hacking group behind this breach have allegedly released the information online for free. That puts all of us at risk of being exploited by scammers, hackers, and spammers who profit off stolen personal data. It honestly infuriates me that people who work hard to build their lives can be targeted by such lowlifes. That said, I'm not panicking, because I've been using Aura for months. Aura immediately alerts me if my information shows up on the dark web, warns me if someone tries to access my bank or credit accounts, and provides up to $5 million in identity theft protection if the worst happens. On top of that, they include a VPN and other powerful online security tools, all wrapped into one easy-to-use app.
The next case is Dexter Austin Apartments.
So what that means that
is versus Bithia Nara Velasquez and Arturo Rodriguez. Who's here on behalf of Dexter?
I'm here, Your Honor. Yasmin, the Dexter.
Yasmin, okay. And is Bithia Velasquez or Arturo Rodriguez here?
They did not check in during check-in time, but Ms. Velasquez did say that they were planning on being here.
Well,
or they're trying to log on.
They're trying to log on?
Yes, but that was almost an hour ago. If Ms. Rodriguez, so if that's you on the phone, you'll push *6 to unmute.
All right, I'm going to pause it right here for a moment, because things are about to go completely off the rails. The defendant was struggling to unmute herself during the hearing, so the judge temporarily moved on to another case. However, the plaintiff is now attempting to help her reconnect so they can finally address the eviction issue. What makes this situation absolutely insane is that the plaintiff and the defendant are about to end up in the same room together at the same time, and I can promise you, this is not something you've ever witnessed.
Austin versus John Adame and Melissa Baker. Is that you, Miss Yasmin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you were previously sworn. The rent is $1013, is that right?
Correct.
And you just want July prorated at $980, is that correct?
Yes and no. Their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month of July.
Okay.
They're still currently. Hold on. I'm sorry, somebody's here screaming. Oh, I think Bithia's here. Hold on. She's Bithia. Oh, no. We're not doing that. We're on court right now. Give me 1 second.
no, you are she already dismissed my case.
She did not dismiss your case. The reason.
Okay, que yo estuve esperando una pinche hora.
Okay.
Una pinche hora.
Give me a second.
Don't be fucking like that.
I was not. You were not on the phone.
I was on the fucking phone. Do you need fucking?
Okay. You have to give.
Aquí.
Okay. Do you want to go and log in? Because you're literally online.
I can't fucking log in.
Okay.
I couldn't log in.
Bithia, you have to call. You have
Yo
to.
llamé a una mira, aquí te voy a enseñar.
Tell her to go try the phone number again, Miss.
Una pinche hora.
Do you hear the judge? Bithia, do you hear the judge? She's telling for you to log in.
Velasquez.
I can't.
Miss Velasquez.
Tell me and I will.
See what I'm talking about? I warned you. This is unlike anything you've ever seen, and somehow, it's still not over yet.
Try the phone number again.
Mira, una pinche hora. Wait, mira.
Look, listen.
Mira, 54 minutes. Right here.
Miss Velasquez.
54 minutes. I was waiting.
I understand. We tried to
I can't log in. They didn't give me the passcode. in the fucking.
There's no passcode. You just need the, can you try again and we'll let you in right away?
Don't dismiss. The what?
You're on live, by the way.
I know I'm on live.
Miss
And I've been
Velasquez,
54 minutes.
She
On this
told,
fucking case. 54 minutes.
I
Almost
know.
an hour.
Can you
Really?
try? Can you call again and we'll let you right in? Okay?
They didn't give me the password. They gave me the passcode.
there's no
They didn't
password.
know.
Look,
¿Cómo que no?
Look, just dial right here. Look, dial this number.
Tell her to dial the number and we'll let her in.
There's no reason.
There's no
Mamacita,
reason.
mira, mi amor.
I
Mira,
understand.
55 minutes. That was
That's how you
55 minutes. Like, really, look. For real. Que no me encabrone. Que no me encabrone. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yo me calmé.
Hold on,
We have 3 more cases, right, Miss Yasmin?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Your Honor. It's just that I have her in the office and I cannot hear you. I'm sorry. We were
Okay.
going based on John Adame's case
No,
and
go back to
then,
Velasquez.
hold
Right.
on. John Adame, actually, their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month.
So
They
that
have not,
would be $784?
correct,
Okay.
which is a prorated amount plus this amount for the remaining of the month. They have not yet also paid the rents previous, sorry, Your Honor. They have not paid a little bit of their June rent as well, so I'm trying to grab possession of
No.
it.
Que go back to my case, and I'll speak to the judge. Porque a mí ni siquiera me dieron el pinche paso. 50.
Yes, I want to get possession of this unit of John Adame and
Mira,
Melissa.
Marisa. Mira.
Okay, is there any left owing in June?
For the month of June, it's $213, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's 997 is what,
Correct.
okay.
Yes,
And the appeal bond is 2026.
correct.
Okay, so we've got Dexter versus Jonathan Rodriguez.
Yes, for Jonathan Rodriguez, he has not paid for the month of July, which is this month.
Right,
Lease
I just heard her and her.
lease contract expired, July the 3rd of this month, of this year.
okay,
Their rent is $1,335, so I'm asking for $1,335 along with late fees and, judge,
I can just give you the background.
correct. Yes.
Fuck that shit.
Okay, so I need you to just have a seat and we're gonna go ahead and call
Okay,
it.
well, cuando yo estaba hablando, when I was talking, I was like, hello, can you hear me? I was almost an hour. Aquí está, in the record. Almost an hour.
Yeah, you wanna take a seat?
You have one have a seat and then she can go ahead and give you a call. You can go ahead and.
I think she was the phone number, and I called out to push *6 to unmute.
Did you hear she said? I'm sorry, say that again?
If you're calling in through the phone number, you push *6 to unmute, and I repeated that a few times before we started the case.
You heard that, Vidya?
I heard that.
Unmute.
I didn't hear that before. My fault.
Mhm.
She absolutely said it. You just might be missed it after downing about 10 tequila sunrises before sunrise. After that, the defendant stormed out of the office, and was later evicted for failing to pay rent, with no additional drama. So with that wrapped up, let's jump into our next case. This one features Judge Shackleford absolutely dismantling a defendant who harmed someone else, and then had the nerve to walk into court and pretend he was the victim.
This is the People versus Christopher Moore. I have misdemeanor files 241722, 241589, 241136, and then we have a felony file. This is 241796, FY appearances.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Santo on behalf of Mr. Moore. As to the state cases, we've waived formal reading, asked for warrants to be recalled. As of the city case, that's set for pre-trial 5th, and request, would waive formal reading and stand mute.
Okay, so as to, 241796FY, the felony case, this is a charge of home invasion, third, and domestic violence. Mr. Moore, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and you have a right to have that attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. In the event you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. Your first court date is your probable cause conference, which you can appear at via Zoom, and that is set for August 26th of 2024. Following that, on September 9th of 2024, you will have your preliminary examination. At that examination, the prosecutor will have to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. With respect to the remaining 3 cases, we have a State of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 1136. State of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 241589, and then we have a City of Taylor case 241722, and that's the B&E. As to all of those, the warrants have been set aside. They'll be set for pre-trials.
Judge, I would note that Moynihan is on. I would just ask that the 2 misdemeanor state cases be set for the 26th as well.
The misdemeanor state case be set for is the 26th, so that's a Monday?
That's the same day you set for the PCC.
Oh, okay, so we'll just have them all?
The same parties.
All right.
Then the state, or the city case, I think is September 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a date of September 5th on that one. And then Ms. Moynihan, all 3 of the felony matters, then when we come in for the arraignment, or I'm sorry, the probable cause conference on August 26th, we'll just have those 2 misdemeanor files follow the felony. Now, as to bond. Ms. Moynihan, is there anything you have to say as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Tina Moynihan on behalf of the people, P84692. Judge, we were in court on Monday. I was there as the prosecutor covering the docket for Ms. Sob and Ms. Davidova, and Mr. Moore was supposed to appear for an arraignment. He did appear by Zoom momentarily and then disappeared. He would not speak with Mr. Gizicki. With my understanding, Mr. Gizicki attempted to have conversations to proceed with the arraignment, and then Mr. Moore decided to log off before the case was ever called. My understanding, he then contacted the courthouse and spoke to a clerk downstairs and made threats to the court that if he came up to the courthouse that something was going to happen to people in the courthouse.
I seriously have to wonder if this idiot even realizes that those phone calls are usually recorded or monitored. You can't just ring up the courthouse and threaten chaos because you don't feel like showing up to answer for your crimes. And we're not finished yet, because they're about to break down the exact threats he made and explain just how dangerous this individual truly is.
And then it was also my understanding of speaking with the complainant who appeared by Zoom that there was an incident in the night prior, which would have been Sunday night. In that incident, Judge, there has been a warrant requested. I am in the process of reviewing that this morning. The allegations there are that the defendant broke into the complainant's home again overnight, forced his way into the home. He then adjusted cameras throughout the home that the complainant had so that he could not be observed. He's seen wearing all black, a hoodie, as well as a mask covering his face. He then enters the complainant's bedroom. He pulls a gun from his pocket and then shows that to the complainant, claiming that her fingerprints were on that gun and putting her in fear of an altercation ensuing. Further from that, he's then seen leaving the location by the complainant and heading out in an unknown direction. My understanding is that he's been staying across the street at the home across the street from her residence, and I believe that that is also going to be considered a violation of his bond that's been issued, that he's had no contact with the complainant, that he's not returned that residence, and then there's allegations of new criminal activity In addition, Judge, to his failure to stay in court until the case was called on Monday, I do believe that Mr. Moore is a danger to the complainant as well as to the public as a whole. He shows a wholesome inability to comply with the court's orders. I would be asking for a $250,000 cash surety bond, no 10%, with a GPS tether and house arrest if he were to be released. And I would ask that there be a 2-mile radius from the complainant's residence so that he's not to return to that area.
He initially logged into the Zoom hearing, but then dipped out before his case was even called, which is a huge mistake on its own. Not long after, it came out that the night before, he went to the complainant's residence armed with a gun, and made threats of physical violence. If you've ever been looking for a masterclass on how to completely destroy your life, and escalate an already bad situation, just reach out to this guy. He'll gladly guide you through it step by step, apparently with a firearm involved.
Anything, Mr. Fanto?
Well, I guess we have allegations that I don't know that the court should take into consideration relative bond as these cases stand. However, I would note that Mr. Moore does have some serious medical issues. At least if we could mark the files on medical so that Wayne County knows. He is on SSI.
Okay. I don't think there's, the things I'm to take into consideration is whether or not he's a danger to the community. He's a lengthy criminal history. His behavior in this court has been absolutely egregious. Since these cases have started, he has assaultive criminal convictions. He clearly does not have any issue ignoring court orders. He is certainly a danger to Miss Butcher as well as the community at large. He's certainly a flight risk. He was already in immediate warrant status on one of the domestic violence charges on August 5th when he failed to appear for court. We've had a separate case where he had an immediate bench warrant on 2 different dates, both June 13 and August 5th, for failing to appear at court. He's now got pending against 1 complaining witness, 2 domestic violence cases, 3 domestic violence cases, a B&E and a home invasion. There's an allegation that a firearm was used in one of those instances. There was a police report filed. Detectives had to come over to the court Monday after there were allegations that Mr. Moore called the court, was extremely volatile with court staff. And Ms. Moynihan, the language was that he was going to come up to the court and commit a massacre. That's the allegation of what he was screaming at courts.
So essentially, he was threatening mass violence if he were required to show up in court. Nothing says, "I'm innocent," quite like someone promising widespread harm just to avoid appearing before a judge, and claiming they did nothing wrong. With that said, I think the residents of Taylor, Michigan can collectively breathe a little easier knowing this individual is already behind bars, and Judge Shackelford clearly has no intention of letting that change.
So I have to agree with you entirely. Mr. Moore is a danger to the community. Mr. Moore is a flight risk. Mr. Moore has shown absolutely zero respect for the criminal justice system, the legal system, or the safety of his own child that resides with Miss Butcher. He will have a $250,000 cash or surety bond with a GPS tether with a 2-mile radius. Complaining witness's home. The file will be marked medical. Mr. Moore, you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're to have no contact with Miss Butcher. And a matter of fact, you can't not only go to her home, you can't go on her street. These are on the felony case. These are the bond conditions set for 1796 FY. You are not to possess or have access to firearms. You cannot purchase or access or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. On misdemeanor, I've also signed the request for a court-appointed attorney to ensure that Mr. Moore has counsel at all future proceedings, and that's in the file. As to the 3 misdemeanor files, each of these files will have a $10,000 cash surety bond with a GPS.
Top of 250,000.
No, that's plus, so it's 280,000 altogether.
Hey, ma'am. If I can say something when you are done, please just let me know.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, you have a.
Prefer you not.
Yeah, Mr. Moore, you have a constitutional right to remain silent. Given the amount of hot water you're in right now, I would strongly encourage you to follow the advice of your counsel.
We've got pretrial services relative to the felony.
I will request a DSU report at counsel's request on the felony. Is there anything else?
Yes, can I say one thing, please?
Mr. Moore, your attorney is advising you not to say a thing.
I understand that. I'm asking, please. Would that be okay?
I would prefer you not, Mr. Moore.
I understand, I respect that, but this is my life in the balance and me ever seeing my kid. So I would like to say something.
You might not see it yet, but if you care at all about your future freedom, the smartest move right now would be to keep your mouth shut. As your attorney is clearly trying to explain, there is absolutely nothing you can say at this stage that will improve your situation.
I understand what this looks like. I understand that you guys are upset. I understand that I didn't show up and advise to every court ruling because I've had bad experience with the judicial system. That's not an excuse, but at the same time, it is the truth of what I'm saying. I have documentation showing, and I've called the courts. I called the detective. I called the domestic violence. I recorded them. And,
Mr. Moore, listen. Mr. Moore, I
understand.
appreciate all of that. I want to be clear, given your history at this court and what's happened recently, there is absolutely nothing that you can say that will change my bond on this case. Nothing.
How about her conspiring to commit murder on me?
So what will happen is your attorney has requested a DSU, and I've granted that DSU request. So the Michigan Department of Corrections will meet with you, and if they find a bond modification is appropriate, they will issue a recommendation to this court. I'm not so inclined, or I don't know that I would even necessarily follow their recommendation, but I will certainly look at it and take it into consideration. And I marked the file medical.
Thank you.
She don't have
right.
She's to a 1% motorcycle club.
All right, thank you. We're all set. Thank you over at the jail.
Thank you.
At this point, I don't see how any amount of pretrial release is justified. He's shown zero respect for the court, takes no responsibility for his actions, and instead blames everything on past encounters with the legal system, which only increases the risk that he won't comply or will flee. Rather than letting his attorney speak on his behalf, he does the worst thing possible, plays the victim and shifts blame onto the actual victim. Based on his behavior, it's obvious to both Judge Shackelford and myself that releasing this individual would pose a real threat to the community and to the person he targeted. So I think there's only one thing left to say: goodbye and enjoy your stay. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, and once again, a big thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's content. Be sure to use the link pinned below to start your free trial. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you didn't, feel free to hit dislike. Either way, drop a comment with your thoughts, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.